Hey guys, and welcome to the third round of the all-time greats 50 over World Cup. So we've got the next round of matches that have got some exciting ones this time round. We've got Oman taking on the United Arab Emirates. Maybe a chance for Oman to pinch one at home, but UAE be looking to pick up another win in the tournament. Their first win of the tournament. South Africa taking on Australia. That will be an exciting game. Both teams have some extraordinary players in that game, so looking forward to that. India-Bangladesh. India will be looking to bounce back after their shock defeat against Pakistan. West Indies taking on Pakistan. That will be a good game. West Indies and Pakistan have got really good bowling attacks. Zimbabwe versus England. Zimbabwe at home will be a bit of a challenge for England at home, I dare say it. Sri Lanka taking on Scotland. Afghanistan taking on New Zealand, and Ireland taking on the surprise of the tournament in the Netherlands. All to see, guys. Smash the like button, share with a friend, and enjoy this episode. We have got a very interesting game in store here. Both teams have not registered a win in the tournament. Oman at home to the United Arab Emirates. So let's get to the teams, shall we? So Oman have gone with a lineup. They've been competitive in their first two games. Oman have played some good, solid cricket to their ability. We'll try to target this game as a game that they can win and get some points for the Cup. So I've got Masood at 1, Ali, Elias Good, Prajapati, Nadeem, Kumar, Odedra, Butt, Kalimula, and Khan as their lineup. So they've got some good bowlers. They've been rotated around some of the players. Be interesting to see how they go. Conditions, obviously playing in Oman and the United Arab Emirates, sort of spinny type conditions. So there's a few tweakers here with 1, 2, 3, probably 4 spinners on display here today for Oman. United Arab Emirates are sort of bolstering up their batting a wee bit in this game here. So we've got Anwar and Ali. Captain is, of course, probably the best player to come out of the UAE, Karam Khan. As you can see, those statistics speak there. Really solid batting order. Usman Khan and Shahzad. Mustafa and Shahzad, those two will swap round. They've got a lot of bowling options, the United Arab Emirates. This player, Manjula Garuj, not a bad limited overs player, will get an opportunity today. Raza at 9. We've got Khan at 10. He's opening the bowling with Garuj. And Haider at number 11. So, be a very interesting game. Let's see what the result will be. And the UAE have won this game reasonably convincingly in the end. Both teams did not bat out their 50 overs. But UAE defeat Oman by 52 runs. So, UAE batted first. 234 they posted, with Usman 76 of 99, 11 boundaries, Ali 46 of 64, and Shahzad 51 of 43 towards the end there with 6 fours and a 6 in his innings. So the credit of Oman, another reasonable game from them in terms of their bowling. Butt 2 for 54, Masood 3 for 50, and 3 for 46 for Nadeem. And the UAE will be kicking themselves not being able to bat out those overs. Partnerships, there are a couple of solid ones. The second, third, and fourth wicket partnerships, with the second and fourth bringing out 50-run stands. But they were sitting at 210 for 4. You'd really expect UAE to boot on there. But credit to Oman, they fought hard. 182 Oman posted. Pretty much 55 at the top for the opener. Gould 52. Prajapati 31. But the chief destroyer, Karam Khan, 5 for 35. Mustafa 2 for 28. 2 for 34 for Garuj, and 1 for 36 for Shahzad. So overall, UAE will pick up their first win of this tournament. But a relatively competitive game, as there are two decent run partnerships there. Like Oman were in control of that game at that point, but just the pressure in the situation told. But congratulations to UAE, they have cracked their first win of this competition. One of the best matchups in the competition is about to happen. South Africa and Australia, 2 5-star lineups. Incredible teams that you're about to see here. Without further ado, guys, let's introduce the teams. Okay, this is the lineup for South Africa here. So we've got Hashim Amla and Graham Smith opening up, with Graham Smith being the captain. A man that retired a lot earlier than what I thought he would. I think he was only 31 when he retired. He could have got some really amazing stats if he sort of played another 5 or 6 seasons. Incredible player, and just incredibly knowledgeable about the game of cricket. But 38 50s, 2700s in his test career, 47 50s and 1000s. Looking for Graham Smith to stand out. But today we've got Jacques Kallis at 3, AB at 4, Faf du Plessis at 5, Quinton de Kock at 6. The two probably best all-round combination in the competition, Klusener and Sean Pollock. Imran Tahir, Rabada, and Donald will make up the team today. Conditions favour batting for this one-day game. As mentioned in the last episode, Australia have got a heap of all-time greats. So do other teams. So we're going to rotate them around a wee bit to give you guys a whole lot of different players. So Warner and Gilchrist will open up here. We've got Steve Smith getting a bit of a run. Steve Smith has a really respectful career so far. He's still got a lot to add to his stats, but 25 50s and 1100s in his career. Got Ricky Ponting at 4. Hussey and Bevan, two outstanding players at 5 and 6. Andrew Simons, sort of just that handy guy that can bowl some right arm medium. Michael Bevan can bowl some Chinaman deliveries. Pat Cummins getting a go. He will be an all-time great by the time he retires. Incredible bowler for Australia. And their current captain, Shane Warne, the great Dennis Lilly getting an opportunity in this game. 103 wickets at 20.83. First time for Dennis in this tournament. And Glenn McGrath will make up the team here. So without further ado, guys, I am really looking forward to seeing what this result is. South Africa will win the game by 5 wickets, so they do win at home. A good game of cricket, actually. So Australia posted 292 for 9. Steve Smith, 64 off 66, 11 boundaries. Hussey, 86 off 84. Bevan and Simons got some decent cameos going. And 292 for 9, probably on a batting wicket a wee bit short there. South Africa, for all their credit, most of their bowlers did do a good job with the ball. 2 for 49 for Donald, 2 for 48 for Imran Tahir, 2 for 54 for Sean Pollock, 3 for 58 for Klusener, and Kallis bowled a few overs in that thing. Partnerships for Australia, solid partnerships. The second wicket put up 51 between Warner and Smith. Smith and Hussey, 68, 58 for Hussey and Bevan. But yeah, just looking at this thing here, they lost a wee bit towards the back end there, Australia, when they looked to be in a really solid spot. But credit to how South Africa bowl contained them. And in the run chase, it was well batted for Jacques Kallis. 113 off 110 deliveries, 16 fours and a 6. And just contributions from Amla, du Plessis, Quinton de Kock and Klusener with a quick finish to ensure South Africa pick up a famous victory against the Australian all-time greats. Dennis Lilly in his first game of the campaign, 2 for 38, bowled quite well. None for 48 for Glenn McGrath, but everyone else was a wee bit expensive on the day, as Simons and Bevan try to combine for the spin effort, a wee bit too expensive there. Warne and Cummins picking up a wicket each, but a great result for South African cricket in that particular match. So India looking to bounce back after their defeat against Pakistan in the previous round, taking on a Bangladesh side in what will be an interesting encounter. Pretty much spin expected to dominate in this fixture. Without further ado, let's get to the team. So India have brought in some changes for this game. We've gone with a few different legends of their game. Shikhar Dhawan opening up with Rohit Sharma, pretty much a modern day pair. Very good strike rate. Shikhar Dhawan has a very respected career. Of course, you have to have Virat Kohli and Tendulkar 3 and 4. We're giving Mohammad Azharuddin a go at 5. Mohammad Azharuddin, pretty respectful career there. 58, 50, 700s, average of 36.92. Reasonable strike rate. A lot of runs, a lot of experience. Looking for him to add quite a bit to the side. So we've got Mahendra Singh Dhoni at 6. We've got Jadeja at 7. Kapil Dev at 8. Harbhajan Singh getting a game here. So Harbhajan Singh's numbers are pretty respectful. He can bat a little bit as well. Still plays in today's IPL, I believe. Anil Kumble at 10. And Jasprit Bumrah will make up the bowling lineup here. So that is a pretty solid Indian lineup. A lot of spin. Kumble, Singh, Jadeja, and even to the point of if need to be, Sachin Tendulkar can roll over the arm for a bit of leg spin as well. So good lineup there. Let's look at the Bangladesh side. Okay, the lineup for Bangladesh. Got Tanam Iqbal and Lilton Das. Will not be probably opening there. We'll probably swap that round and give Imral Kays the job at opening up. We've got Nafiz at 3. We'll probably have Shakib at 4 there. We're just going to do some changing on the fly. Mushrika Rahim at 5. Saka at 6. Mamadullah at 7. Mashrafi Mortaza at 8. And opening the bowling. Captain will be Shakib there as well. Couple of spinners. We've got Razak, Mamadullah, and of course Shakib. We've got their very classy left-hander and Mustafiza Rahman. Really good career so far. He's really young. And Rubiul Hussain will get a run today. So Bangladesh very much up against it, but let's see the result. So India were challenged a little bit in this game as Bangladesh got to 294 for 9, but some classy batting as by the looks of it got India home. Let's look at the Bangladesh scorecard, shall we? With Mushfiqur Rahim, 104 off 90 deliveries, 11 fours, 3 sixes, and a big cameo towards the end, 35-14 for Mushrafi Mortaza, 5 fours, 2 sixes there. Shakib Al Hasan, 45 of 28. Accelerated the innings to respectful score, a challenging score. Tough day at the office for the Indians in terms of the bowling. Anil Kumble, 1 for 33, tidy, and along with Kapil Dev, 1 for 42. Harbhajan Singh gets a 5 for 71, with Jadeja getting a wicket as well. So kind of expensive there. Partnerships for Bangladesh. The big one between Rahim and Saka, Rahim and Mortaza, and Imral Kays and Shakib Al Hasan. So decent partnerships throughout. Like the finish from Bangladesh was really, really good. As you can see, just scrolling down here. From the 40th over onwards, there was a lot of good clean hitting there to get them over the line. With 295 to get India coasted pretty much. So good batting throughout this innings. The opening run stand, 113 between Rohit Sharma and Dhawan. Sharma 67 off 53, 13 boundaries. 73 off 68 for Virat Kohli, 8 fours and a 6 there. And the hero of the innings was Shikhar Dhawan, 119 off 104, 18 boundaries there. Tough day at the office for Rubiul Hussain, 1 for 102. Potentially, India could have got 350, 360 there. Shakib Al Hasan, 1 for 33, none for 29 for Mortaza. Definitely the pick of the bowlers there. But India flex their muscles and get back on track with a good win over Bangladesh. Another interesting game on the horizon. The West Indies taking on Pakistan. Not much will separate these two sides. At home, the West Indies may give them the slight edge. It will be a random pitch. So let's see what the West Indies have in store for us for the first team of 2. Boy, are the West Indies stacked for this game. So we've got the captain, which will be Clive Lloyd. Gale and Greenwich opening up the batting. Chris Gale will be looking to get off to a destructive start. Greenwich will sort of be the accumulator there. Viv Richards batting at 3. Brian Lara at 4. Lloyd at 5. What a trio of batsmen they are. We've got Shai Hope, who's had an impressive start to his career. He gets a shot at the gloves at 6. He's got 19 50s and 10 100s on this game. Carl Hooper just providing that very solid all-rounder option at 7. And then the 4 searing quicks. We've got Malcolm Marshall getting a run. Andy Roberts, Joel Gardner, and Michael Holding making up that lineup. So it's going to be the battle of the bowling lineups here because the Pakistan lineup has got some fantastic bowlers themselves. We're about to preview that team. Pakistan lineup, as mentioned, very good. They're in good form, beating India in their previous encounter. Got Mohammad Hafiz opening the batting with Syed Anwar. Mohammad Hafiz can also provide those handy overs with the ball and very economical as well. Babar Azam at 3. Javed Miandad will be the captain and the keeper. Ismam Ul Haq at 5. Muhammad Yusuf at 6. The Imran Khan in an all-rounder spot at 7. Wasim Akram and Waqar Yunus will open up the bowling. And we're gone with the leggy for this game. Abdul Qadir, pretty much very respectful career. All-time great Pakistan leg spin bowler. Rotating their spinners round. Since it's a sort of a seaming wicket, we'll give him a bit of a run with the 4 main seamers. So a lot of bowling on display for both sides. Who you think's going to win, guys? Is it going to be the West Indies or Pakistan? We're about to find out. And Pakistan win a very close fought game there. So West Indies 250 all outs. Chris Gale 53 off 68 off the top. 7 boundaries there. Clive Lloyd with a stabilising 84 of 103, anchored the innings in that middle part. Hooper, Marshall and Roberts got some very crucial runs as West Indies scrambled to 250 all out. The bowling for the Pakistan was brilliant throughout. 3 for 46 for Imran Khan, 2 for 40 for Wasim Akram. Waqar Yunus was tidy, done for 49. The leg spinner thought bowled quite well as well, 2 for 42. Shoaib Akhtar expensive, but getting 3 for 73. The partnerships, as you can see, the big one was between Gale and Clive Lloyd. And then Hooper and Marshall sort of got the West Indies into a solid position here. So they over, like, just not enough big towers from the West Indies going into that final lot. Lost their way a little bit. But you'd think in the run chase that at 5 for 124 and 4 for 61, the West Indies were right in this game with their pace attack. But it was the class of Babar Azam, 104 of 103, 10 fours, 2 sixes, and Wasim Akram, 53 of 38 in a splendid game for him. The pace attack bowled exceptionally well for the West Indies. 2 for 40 for Gardner, 2 for 45 for Roberts, 1 for 49 for Holding. Malcolm Marshall, 1 for 57. It was just their spin option of Hooper, none for 63. Just hurt them a wee bit. So the key partnership was obviously the 86 unbeaten run Babar Azam and Wasim Akram. 44 and 63. 5th, 6th and 7th wicket partnerships were brilliant. And they were able to accelerate at the right time. As you see, the Rome sort of overlapped around that 38th over, and then they never looked back there, Pakistan. So impressive victory for the Pakistan side, and they continue their momentum in this sort of all-time greats World Cup. Zimbabwe taking on England at Zimbabwe home conditions here. Zimbabwe looking to build on their 2 wins, as England are trying to bounce back from 2 defeats. But Zimbabwe have played 2 opposition teams they should beat on a regular basis, whereas England's had some tough games. But without further ado, guys, let's get the groundsman pitch to make it random. And let's get to the Zimbabwean team, shall we? Zimbabwe will be able to field a competitive team today. We've got Grant Flair and Alistair Campbell opening up the batting. 2 very experienced cricketers. Really good cricketers in the 90s and early 2000s. We've got Brendan Taylor at 3. Andy Flower at 4. Probably the best batsman they've ever produced. We've got Neil Johnson. Pretty much a lot of experience in the domestic game. Quite a good cricketer. 1150s, 400s, and he can bowl a little bit as well. So handy stuff there. Sekunda Raza at 6. Sean Williams at 7. He's Streak at 8. They're back very deep. Paul Strand getting a go today, the leg spinner. 96 wickets at 33.05. Gets a game over Creamer. Chachara opening up with Streak, obviously. And Henry Alonga getting a game here. The right-arm fast bowler. So that's their lineup. A really competitive lineup for Zimbabwe taking on England. And England have made a few changes to their team. So England looking for a victory in this tournament. Opening up with Nick Knight and Bairstow. Bairstow to be the aggressor and Nick Knight to be the accumulator. Nick Knight, average of 40.41 over 100 matches. It's a pretty respectful number. 25 50s, 500s. Definitely deserves a spot in this team. Joe Root and Kevin Peterson, your 3 and 4. Graham Hick. Graham Hick played for a lot of years. 158 50s and 136 centuries first class level. His one-day career is pretty good as well. Could have did a lot more for England, actually, when you think about it. Look how many games he played. 651 one-day games. Insane from Graham Hick. 6, Owen Morgan. Flintoff at 7. Swan at 8. Bob Willis and Jimmy Anderson, 9 and 10 in your opening bowlers. And we're gone with Derek Underwood. Now, Derek Underwood played a small smidge in the games, but he is a legend of the game. He took 297 wickets at Test match level, and he just joined the scene around the time when one days were just starting. So we're giving him a bit of a run today. And without further ado, this very interesting game. Zimbabwe will put up a fight here. Let's see who gets the spoils. So a very convincing performance from the England side as Zimbabwe petered along to 235 for 9. Brendan Taylor 60 off 83 and Sean Williams 63 off 76. I thought England bowled very tidily there by the looks. Anderson 2 for 38, Underwood 1 for 43, Willis 1 for 27, Flintoff 1 for 38. Swan, although expensive, 4 for 82. Partnerships for Zimbabwe, nothing really substantial apart from the 250 run stands to get them to a competitive score. And it was a really good run chase from the England side, with Bairstow 98 of 115, 13 boundaries in his innings, and Graham Hick 86 of 81, 15 boundaries there. Tough day at the office for Zimbabwe, a convincing result for England, and a must-win to get England on the board. Okay, this is going to be an interesting game. Sri Lanka have been the team that's been struggling a bit in this particular all-time great series, taking on Scotland at home and be looking for a convincing performance on what will be offering a lot of turn on the surface here. So Sri Lanka had that shock loss earlier in the tournament against the Netherlands. Scotland will be looking to upset Sri Lanka again and put Sri Lanka further in trouble for a spot for the top 4 as that heats up later in the competition. So without further ado, guys, let's get to the teams. Sri Lanka have gone for a solid-looking team in this game against Scotland. Tutakarutni Dilshan and Sanath Jayasuriya opening up the batting right-hand, left-hand combination. Very much destructive at the top of the order. Marvin Adapadu will get a game at 3. Just Marvin Adapadu's career is very respectful, actually, and just a good accumulator. 59 50s, 1100s in his career with over 8,000 runs there. So Marvin deserves a spot there. Kumar Sangakkara at 4 and captain. Mahela Jayawarner at 5. Aravinda De Silva at 6. And Angelo Matthews at 7. Aravinda De Silva, Matthews, Jayasuriya and Dilshan probably make up sort of some overs there. With the main bowlers being Chaminda Vaas and Lasith Malinga opening. And of course we've got Mendes and Muralitharan for their team, which will be looking to split the spin. So plenty of spin options for the Sri Lankans. Let's see the Scots team. Scotland will put out a competitive team in this game against Sri Lanka. Hamilton and Kutsira are your opening combination there. Callum McLeod at 3, Matt Machan at 4, Ryan Watson at 5, Richie Berrington at 6. Looking to him to bowl some handy overs there, along with Gavin Hamilton. Joshua Davey at 8. Majid Haq needed a decent offie in that team, just because it is a spinning track. Sharif and Wardlaw will make up your team. This game will be interesting. Can the Sri Lankans get another win? They've had some very, very average performances so far in the Cup. And a boil over, and Sri Lanka have been tipped over again in the competition. They batted brilliantly in this innings. They got 306. Tulakarutni Dilshan 73 off 95, 7 4s. Mahela Jayawarner 63 off 69. Aravinda De Silva 74 and Angelo Matthews 53. Gavin Hamilton 3 for 66. Davey 2 for 50. 2 for 64 for Majid Haq. 1 apiece for Wardlow and Sharif. But yeah, big partnerships were the Dilshan Jayawarner and the De Silva Matthews partnership, with not many other partnerships hanging around. But anyhow, the run chase from Scotland, next level, as they win this game remarkably by 4 wickets. They got a good team. Kyle Coetzee, 90 off 99, 12 fours. McLeod, 73 off 61, 7 fours, 2 sixes. Matt Machan, 58 off 32, 8 fours and a 6. Berrington, 32 off 30. But Sri Lanka, with all their spin at their disposal, just could not get over the line. Dilshan, 3 for 32. Muralitharan, 1 for 50. Mendes, 1 for 55. On turning track, too. So Scotland have played them well, and the seamers of Malinga and Vaas have not come up trump. So that is another shock defeat for the Sri Lankans in this competition. Congratulations to the Minnow teams, Scotland and the Netherlands, for picking up wins over Sri Lanka. This game will not be easy for the Black Caps. They're taking on Afghanistan away from home. Afghanistan will incorporate some pitches that have a wee bit of turn, And New Zealand historically not very good against really good mystery spinners. So this game could be a game there for the taking for the Afghanistan side if they get it right on the day. New Zealand still have a loaded lineup, but let's get to the teams. Afghanistan have loaded their team with spinners for this game. Gurbaz and Shahzad opening up the batting. Two very aggressive batsmen up front. Shah and Shahidi 3 and 4. Stanek Zai at 5. Shenmari, Nabi, the two all-rounders, will bowl a wee bit of spin as well, with Shenmari a leg spinner and Nabi off spinner. One of the best bowlers in the world, Rashid Khan, batting at 8. And we've got Ashraf at 9, Hassan at 11, opening up the bowling, the two lone seamers in the team. And Hazma Hotak will make his first appearance of the tournament here. So obviously the conditions for the home team, the wear is incredibly going to get worse as the game progresses. So if Afghanistan bat first, they're a chance. But without further ado, let's look at the New Zealand lineup. New Zealand have gone with a team notoriously for batting quite deep. Everyone can bat in that lineup, but we're going to open up with Brendan McCullum today, given an opportunity with Martin Guptill opening at the top. Got Kane Williamson, Crowe and Taylor. That order probably not changed 3, 4 and 5. Scott Styris getting a game. He'll bat at 6, along with Christopher Cairns at 7. Richard Hadley at 8. We've got to get a decent spinner in there, and Daniel Vettori. Daniel Vettori, the top wicket taker for New Zealand one-day international cricket. Got Kyle Mills getting his first game along with Shane Bond. So this game will be fascinating. Who's going to take it out, guys? We will find out. And New Zealand have won this game reasonably convincingly. They've beaten Afghanistan by 139 runs. New Zealand getting through to 249 for 8 with Kane Williamson a runnable 83. Ross Taylor 39 of 61. And Christopher Cairns and Richard Hadley getting some handy scores towards the end, getting them to a fighting total of 249 for 8. Overall, the Afghanistan team bowled really well. 2 for 39 for Hassan up top, with Ashraf 2 for 51. Wicket apiece for Nabi and Khan, and Hazma Hotak 2 for 48. So the partnerships for the New Zealanders, nothing really big. Just solid partnerships from wickets 2 to 5. The over comparison, New Zealand sort of just battled away there for a while. The partnerships were key in them getting that score. And this with the surface cutting up majorly, it did a good job here at New Zealand. Rolling Afghanistan for 110, with only Stanek Zai 46 of 93 standing out. Richard Hadley incredibly good at the top, 4 for 23, 4 for 26 for Cairns, 1 for 13 for Shane Bond, and 1 for 10 for Vettori. A tricky match negotiated for New Zealand as they go 2 wins out of their first 3 matches. Okay, an interesting game to wrap up round 3. Sees Ireland taking on the Netherlands. Netherlands undefeated in this competition with a very convincing performance against Sri Lanka in their first game, and then managed to win again. Ireland in reasonably good touch as well. So let's, without further ado, make the pitch a seamer as wicket, because it's Ireland. Without further ado, let's select the teams. Ireland look pretty settled in their lineup, actually. We've got Ed Joyce and Paul Stirling opening up. Balbirnie at 3 and captain. William Porterfield at 4. Niall O'Brien and Kevin O'Brien 5 and 6. John Mooney at 7. We've gone with an interesting selection here. We've picked Kyle McCallan. Not a bad wee cricketer, actually. Just can bowl a bit of offie and just provides a wee bit something else. Bit of variation in the attack. Trent Johnston at 9, Tim Murtagh at 10, and Boyd Rankin at 11 will make up the lineup. Obviously, as mentioned, a seaming wicket here in Ireland. Let's see what the Netherlands bring to the table for their match up against Ireland. So we've gone with an interesting team here for the Netherlands. Here's Zuiderent in good form, along with Cravazy will open up the batting. Tom Cooper and Ryan Ten-Doeschate will be your 3 and 4. We've picked the very experienced Colin Ackerman. He's eligible for the Netherlands, and that is a career of experience and class there. So he adds quite a bit at 5 for the Netherlands in terms of batting depth. Wesley Brazy, the keeper, at 6. Got Michael Rippon at 7. Stelling is another interesting selection we've gone for. Billy Stelling. He's played a little bit for the Leicestershire team. Can bat a little bit as well. He's got a very respectful 74 wickets to 27 for 5-5 for them. 22 wickets to 25 in his career for the Netherlands. Played around a time when the Netherlands didn't play too much one-day international cricket. We've got Roland Lebreve. I probably got that name wrong, but he's got incredible statistics for Glamorgan over his career. 249 wickets at 19.8. Probably played for the Netherlands at the back end of his career. No, he played relatively late in his career, so be interesting to see if he performs there. We've got Bakari and Jonkman opening up, in the team for the Netherlands. But the battle of European nations here. Let's see what the result will be. So in a thrilling game of cricket, the Irish will pick up the win by 2 wickets. The Netherlands are batting first off the back of some very good batting from Zuiderent. Another 100 for him, by the way, 201 off 105, 12 was 2 sixes. Tom Cooper, 85 off 113, 10 boundaries there. But they fell apart a wee bit, the Netherlands, with Lefebvre, I don't know how to pronounce the name, 33 off 32. 5 for 45 for Murtagh, and 1 for 38 for Johnson. And a pretty good bowling performance from the Irish, restricting for that. In the run chase, Ireland getting over the line. Good solid contributions throughout the innings. Wee bit of a scare towards the end, where the Netherlands could have pipped them at the post. But Porterfield 67 off 70. The O'Briens both getting into the 30s. Joyce and Sterling were solid at the top. Johnson and Murtagh had to guide the team home in shaky conditions. Ackerman 3 for 4. 3 for 35 for Stelling. But they'll be disappointed with that, the Netherlands. They could have probably picked up a result there, as the key partnership was 35. Solid partnerships throughout for Ireland, and they lost a few wickets at 215 there. But Ackerman, he'll be happy with his bowling today. Did he get 3 wickets in a row here? We'll just have a wee look. I don't think he would have. But anyhow, that will bring the end to the round, guys. Without further ado, let's look at the standings. So after 3 rounds, the competition is fascinating, with Ireland 3 from 3, 9 points so far from the available games. Pakistan in really good touch, actually. They are sitting in second. Australia, South Africa, New Zealand, India, West Indies, Zimbabwe, and the Netherlands have picked up all 2 wins and a loss. Sri Lanka, Scotland, UAE, and England, just the 1 win from their 3 games so far. And Oman, Bangladesh, and Afghanistan all dropping their first 3 games. This competition has been fantastic to put together. A lot of effort to get it all done. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode. We'll have a couple of episodes per week as we build up to Cricket Captain 2022. But for now, guys, smash the like button, share with a friend, and we'll see you next time.